In a small village in India, there lived an old woman who had almost nothing. Her house was tiny. Her clothes were simple. She lived alone. And life had not been easy for her. Yet there was something about her that amazed everyone in the village. She was always smiling, no matter how difficult the day was. She greeted people with warmth and calm eyes, as if life had never hurt her. Many villagers often wondered the same question: how could someone with so little remain so peaceful? Did she know something that others didn't? Was there a secret behind her quiet happiness? One day, a young woman from the village decided she had to find the answer. What the old woman shared that day carried a powerful lesson about life, hope, and the strength of our thoughts. If you enjoy meaningful stories like this, follow NT Motivational Story for more inspiring lessons that can change the way you see life. The young woman who wanted to know the old woman's secret was named Radha. She lived not far from the small house at the edge of the village. Radha's life had become filled with worry. A few months earlier, her husband had left for a distant city to search for work. Like many men from the village, he hoped to earn money and send it back home to support the family. At first, Radha believed everything would be fine. She trusted that her husband would find a job quickly and write to her soon. But weeks passed. Then months. No letters arrived. No news came from the city. Every day Radha woke up with the same heavy thoughts. She had 2 young children who depended on her, and the small savings they had were slowly disappearing. She worked hard in the village, doing whatever small jobs she could find. But the money was never enough. The fear of the unknown slowly grew inside her heart. What if her husband could not find work? What if something had happened to him? What if the future held nothing but more struggle? One morning, feeling overwhelmed and exhausted by these thoughts, Radha decided she could not carry the burden alone anymore. She remembered the peaceful old woman who always smiled, no matter how difficult life seemed. So Radha walked to her small house, hoping she might finally understand the secret behind that quiet strength. The old woman listened quietly as Radha shared all her worries. She did not interrupt. She simply nodded with calm understanding. When Radha finished speaking, the old woman smiled gently and said, "Let me tell you a story." Radha leaned closer, curious. Many years ago, the old woman began, there was a man who sat beside a river every day and cried about his life. The man believed he was the most unfortunate person in the world. He complained that he had nothing, no success, no happiness, and no hope for the future. One afternoon, a traveler passed by and saw the man sitting there in despair. The traveler asked him a simple question: "Why are you crying?" The man replied, "Because I have nothing in my life." The traveler looked around quietly and then pointed toward the flowing river, the tall trees, and the open sky. "You say you have nothing," the traveler said softly, "but you still have life. You still have time. And you still have the chance to begin again." The man had never thought about it that way before. Slowly, he realized that he had been focusing only on what he lacked, while ignoring the opportunities still around him. Radha listened carefully, sensing that the story carried a deeper message. If you enjoy meaningful life lessons like this, remember to follow NT Motivational Story for more inspiring stories that can change the way you see life. Radha remained silent for a long moment after hearing the old woman's story. The words slowly settled in her mind. For months, she had been focusing only on fear. Every morning she woke up thinking about problems, uncertainty, and the worst possibilities that might happen. But now she began to wonder if her thoughts were making the situation even heavier. The next morning, Radha decided to try something different. Instead of beginning the day with worry, she whispered a simple sentence to herself: "Today will be a good day." It felt strange at first, almost unnatural, but she kept repeating it. She continued working hard in the village, cleaning homes, helping neighbors, and taking care of her children. Her problems had not disappeared, but her mind felt a little calmer. Day by day, her attitude slowly changed. She smiled more often, She spoke with hope instead of fear. People in the village began noticing the difference. Radha no longer looked like someone trapped by worry. She looked stronger, more confident, and more determined. Then, one afternoon, something unexpected happened. A letter finally arrived from the city. With trembling hands, Radha opened it. Her husband had found a job. It was not a perfect job, but it was enough to support the family. He promised that money would soon be sent home. For the first time in many months, Radha felt genuine relief. Hope had quietly returned to her life. A few days later, Radha returned to the old woman's house with a grateful heart. The letter from her husband had brought hope back into her life. But she knew the true change had started even earlier. She sat beside the old woman and said softly, "Your story helped me more than you know." The old woman smiled, her eyes calm and warm. "You see," she said gently, "life will always bring difficulties. No one escapes them." Radha listened carefully. "But the way we think about those difficulties can change everything." The old woman continued, "When we fill our minds with fear, problems feel bigger than they really are. They take away our strength and our courage." She paused for a moment before speaking again. "But when we choose hope, even small hope, our hearts become stronger. We begin to see possibilities instead of walls." Radha thought about the past few weeks. Her problems had not magically disappeared overnight. Yet something inside her had changed. She had stopped letting fear control every thought, and because of that, she found the strength to keep moving forward. The old woman looked toward the quiet village and added one final thought. Positive thinking does not mean pretending life is perfect. It means believing that tomorrow can still become better. Radha nodded with understanding. Sometimes, the greatest change in life begins with a simple decision inside the mind. The lesson from Radha's story is simple but powerful. Life will always bring challenges, uncertainty, and moments of fear. But the way we choose to think can change how we face those moments. Positive thinking does not magically remove problems, but it gives us the strength to keep moving forward until change arrives. Try this in your own life. Start each day with one hopeful thought and see what happens. If this story inspired you, follow Motivational Story for more life-changing lessons. And share your experience in the comments. Your story might encourage someone who needs hope today.